hear this, you are not alone. This is the resistance.
And once you get the faith-based structure involved, this is why twwrn has never shied away from the faith-based structure. The faith-based structure puts you in the living room. And the living room is where you want to be in the end days. When the time comes that you got to scoop up your friends, and you got to grab your tent and your food supplies, and this is not a drill, and it's time to go, you want to have access to your real membership, the people that really do understand that there's good things happening in the world, there's bad things happening in the world, and that we can do, which is the other side, is the activism side of twwrn, where we can actually network these good people together to do good protests and good actions, good campaigns for either country at this point, either political side, just simply covering politics and what's happening, and covering what the religious leaders are doing, and covering what economy is doing, and doing the three of them without bias. That alone is a huge step forward to a news networking capability. But we could go on for hours like this. But all I wanted to say was, I really like the idea that you're putting together. The whole religious talk, you guys can do what you're doing. I'm going to go and do a little bit of camping myself, and I'm going to put some ideas together in a few more videos, so the guys and girls will like that. And after that, I'm going to bring in some more interesting things, like we're working on our marketing ideas that you've seen, and we're designing different logos and different designs for twwrn. We're really trying to brand it this way here. The money that can come in through there can be accumulated with donations, and really see where we can where we can go with the next step in the finances aspect of what we're working on. The registering aspects, hopefully, if my plan goes correctly, it shouldn't be very much longer, but I'll have the Canadian registration of the nonprofit, and what I'm going to be doing from there is I'll be sending a copy of my Canadian registration to you and to Conspiracy Anon. You'll both have copies of it, and then you guys can take those papers and make an American Worldwide Resistance Network nonprofit. Send me a copy of the American registration. I will then send a copy of the Canadian and American registration off to our people in Europe, which we're going to get some of our European guys in on these. They're going to start calling each other. I'm going to talk to them about it because I've been asking if they want to get real world.
Yeah.
Right? So this idea here, where the Worldwide Resistance Network actually contacts each other via phone and via different forms and records itself and what it wants to do and what it talks about just for fun, and publicizing it is our actions of transparency. A lot of this was done secretly in the beginning. We had to get the right people in and make sure that we had people that were all kind of thinking the same way, and that these projects could move forward. But when they start opening up, they're going to open up fast. The groups are going to grow quickly once the content and the subject matter that people are discussing really starts to catch on. But then they're going to want to start representing pins, hats, things like that. They're going to want to do things, right, to help the cause. All of these things are already made available, and we're building it up for release around the end of the summer and into the fall. And also, once the release is done for the end of the summer and into the fall, the workload will also be prepared for the winter. And then what happens is that next spring, summer, and fall, all of it, everything we've ever discussed is already on the table for the new member. The new member can say, well, I'm from Canada. Okay, well, you need your registration forms. Okay, well, you need to contact Connor. Or, nope, you don't got to contact me. You got to contact the person that's in your province. And then that person already has copies of what makes you legal to be places. Same thing on the American side. We make this as legal as we can, as far up, and we do it from go.
Yeah.
It was the only thing that we said that the Anons were quote-unquote lacking, was not that we didn't need leadership. The Anonymous Collective never required leadership. What it required was a legal basis at all times, even in corporate court, to be where they had to be at any time. In which, so that, and I know it's just a movie and so on and so forth, but it's The Godfather. So much so that when they put their own private eyes that were allowed to have their guns and so on and so forth to protect the Don, the lawyer told them outright, if you impede with this, I'll have you before court in contempt. So we want the people there that are actually protesting to have the kind of power that when the police show up to raise the baton, that they'd be like, dude, what, if you hit me, your bond is gone. Your job, your ass is grass. So this is where where especially in the United States, people have to get into the oath keepers. Put the oath keepers on the right front line. Put the protesters on the other front line. The other front lines where the cops like to get a little violent, but we always know that there's battles that will be won and lost.
Yeah.
But the oath keepers on the front line that you're not allowed to lose. See, it's very complex, and it's not going to take long for this to spread. Because it's a network of anybody who's anybody.
Hence the name, the Worldwide Resistance Network. But hey, dude.
So whatever worked in Canada may not work in the United States, but it might help Europe. And whatever worked in Europe may not help Canada, but it might help the United States. The ability of pooling the information together is what they hate. It's what they don't like. And it's something that Anonymous has no problems getting on board with. It's something that people love to look into, research, read. And there is, yes, capital and coin to be made in these endeavors. Now the question, which will be the forever debate within the Worldwide Resistance Network, is what do we do with the cash? We have a few back burner projects that have already been deemed worthy and moving forward with. So the early donations will have no problems funneling them.
Yeah.
But like, without exaggeration, if this thing catches off like wildfire, are we just going to put in $1 million into the Sanctuary Recovery Program? Or are we going to divvy that up into maybe 3-4 projects that could really benefit multiple countries? So, and at that point, like, we can get into the countries and start demanding the Venus Project. The countries in which maintain the resources that are capable of it, those people can start demanding to have it. So anyway, that's just for future topics to cover. But I really enjoyed the religious connotations that you were talking about. And we'll do this again sometime, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You had to ask me.
Huh?
There was anything you had to ask me about, like, what I'm doing on my side that you think that people might want to know?
No, we're already at 37 minutes, so this is going to wind up being a 4-part video. So why don't we just go ahead and wrap it up? You know, just kind of give an outline to everything you just said. Just sum up everything. Get out what you wanted to say, because I know, like you said, you can carry on for hours on end. We could be on at this for 6 hours, and I kind of let you just have the run of the mill on this one, and you know, it's your platform. In fact, use this as a platform for future videos as well. But in the meantime,
I'm going to start incorporating this, because that's what I mean. Our face videos, that's one thing. These call videos is another thing. I'm talking about all these things. But they've all been created separately, and yes, unfortunately, to the greater populace, in secret. But once they come out, boom, 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 there's no secret to who created it, and everybody who's working on what they're working on has already said that I'm allowed to take credit for it because, well, in the true spirit of Anonymous, they don't want anybody to know what they're doing. They just want to do it.
Exactly.
So I'll be that figurehead. And once all of this thing's done, hold an election. Who's going to be the next John Connor? Who's going to be the next figurehead? Do you realize that if in less than 4 years from now we hold an election to be who the next John Connor is, it'll be the first time in human history democracy actually runs a worldwide organization?
That'd be something.
And these people that have international corporations, not one of those fuckers is elected.
Nope.
Once this network is put together and it's done, and that's why I've always said I don't lead nothing. I don't want to have delusions of grandeur. But I'll do whatever is needed. I'll be that politician. I'll be the rabbi. I'll be the prophet. I'll be the economist. I don't care. You got valid arguments.
You'll be the.
You don't want to present them because it's going to cost you your job, right? All right, I'll present it for you.
You will be the man to take the fall.
I'll know in about 20 minutes. Don't worry.
You will be the man standing on the front lines.
Right, and what's going to happen then? They're going to JFK me? They're going to Martin Luther King me? They're going to John Lennon me? a black bag me? Imagine like there's not another person that's going to do it. And another person. And another person. But the thing is that every time that it gets done, it's it's a worldwide network. When this is done, it's worldwide. And it's democratically elected representatives in a worldwide institution. This is going to be very, very hard to put together.
But when we do, it's going to be...
people,
yeah.
And real people are really sick and tired of getting dicked around.
Exactly.
So that's what makes this job that much harder. But anyway, we're going to wrap that up, and I'll let you put this all together, and let's see how Daisy likes this one, all right?
All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off real quick.